Hi everybody, welcome to Stamping with Denise. It's not Wednesday, it's actually Tuesday, so hope we don't cause you too much confusion, but with tomorrow being Halloween, decided to do it tonight. We'll give everyone just a couple minutes to get started, or to get on, and I think I have figured out how to do this in landscape, so that should help. Has everyone had a good week so far? Normally I talk about hump day, but oh, we got company today. Let's see if I can get her in. That's Moxie. That's my little Moxie. Say something, Mox. Here we go. She's like, what is that? Who's that? Yeah, she's used to every time I've got a little bowl of TREATS's on my desk. And so I have to be real careful. She's used to getting one whenever I sit down. So I have to be careful not to give her one every time. And sometimes she gets a little bit pesty, and it looks like she's going to get a little loud too. So I may have to give her one, but we're going to hold off for a minute here and see if I can avoid it. So let's see here. Trying to pull up comments here, but I think I am in the wrong spot. So maybe if I go there, I can pull it up. There we go. Oh, and there she is. There's Miss Moxie. She heard her name. Okay. Well, you know what? I think we're going to get started. I'm going to put you up in the holder, and we have... oh, I know, before we do that, while we're waiting, please, if you like my video, would you please share it and comment under the video shared? And each week I randomly draw someone to win the project we made that week. So if you recall last week, if you were here, hang on, let me get the card out of the envelope. I made this really pretty Courage card using the Ribbon of Courage stamp set, and I heat embossed it. I don't know if you can see, you can kind of see the shimmer on that. It's copper embossing powder. So I had several people shared my video from last week, and I randomly chose somebody. There's a little thing called random.org where you can enter names, and it chooses one, and it's chose Sandra Miller. So Sandy, if you'll PM me your address, I'll get that card right off to you in the mail, okay? And also, before I forget, there won't be any Facebook Live next week. I'll be heading off to Orlando for the Stampin' Up! Live event celebrating their 30th anniversary. This is the big party. So I'm looking forward to spending a lot of time with demonstrators. There may be some Facebook Lives from there, and I think they've changed their rules in terms of what we can show, so I may be able to even show you some sneak peeks of some products. So we'll see what how that goes. But I'm traveling on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday are full days of all things Stampin' Up, and then Sunday I'll be heading home. So no Facebook Live next week, but there will be plenty of other things I'll be posting to share with you. Okay, I think that's all for right now. We'll go ahead and get started. So here, can we put this up? Make sure we stay horizontal. I don't want a sideways video. And we're going to pray. I just realized I forgot to put my phone on. I forgot to put it on Do Not Disturb. So we are going to pray that nobody calls me. Okay? I'm trying to get all my cords out of the way. I had to move things around a little bit since my... I'm oriented a little bit different. Okay, almost got it out of here. Trying to get it all out of the screen. There we go. I always forget to plug my phone in before we start. Okay, let me look here. Remove this just a little bit. I think we're good. Okay, so today I'm going to do something actually a little different. Instead of making a card, I thought I'd show you how to make these really cute little bookmarks. Okay, I am doing a craft show here in the next few weeks, and I was putting together some little items to sell, and I ran across these really nice idea for these bookmarks. There's little magnets in there. Let me show you here. Here's my note card with my measurements on it, and it just kind of attaches on there. There's two little magnets in there and all. It's a nice handy little thing, nice and flat, not too bad. And even my husband, who doesn't like his books all messed up, thought it was a nice little bookmark. So, you know, they could be cute gifts for you know, just people you want to acknowledge. You can tuck it in a card. So I just thought it was really nice. So I thought I'd show you how to do those today. And I got the magnets off of Amazon. I'll show you what they are. They are tiny, so you have to be careful because you wouldn't want a child to get them, to swallow them, and cause some damage. Here they go. They come in a box like this. There's 180 in this little box, and so far I've used just this, and there are these little magnets. But if they swallowed, they can cause quite a bit of damage, so you don't want to. Whoops! See how they're strong little boogers too. And let's see the size on those. Let me get the package. Let me look. They're 6 millimeters by 2 millimeters, so they're really tiny. I'm gonna put these two back in. It's trying to attach to the box, so. Okay, so let me set those off to the side, and you can see here's the two little magnets right here. And when you put them together, or you know, put them on your items, you have to make sure you've got the correct sides to attract so that they don't repel. Ask me how I know. I accidentally did them the wrong way, and I had to undo a couple. So, okay, so I'm going to lay these down, and I'm going to put those are the sides up that I'm going to have up. There's our little sample here. So what you're going to do is you're going to start out with a piece of, whoops, let's start with this set here. You're going to start out with a piece of cardstock, and it's 6 inches by 2.5 inches, and the measurements will be in the description on the video. You're going to score this right here at 3 inches. Let's see here. I was trying to see. I know I've got some people watching. I was trying to see, and I can't see who's watching. So, sorry about that. And so once you cut it and score it, you're going to round the corner. This is our detailed trio punch. It has 3 different designs on it. And so you're going to just put it in your punch, and you do all 4 corners, okay? Like that. This particular cardstock here is Night of Navy, which is really one of my favorite colors. So, and of course that's going to be the base for your bookmark. Then you're going to have 2 pieces of designer series paper. This is from Tranquil. Oh, I was writing it out. Anyway, the name of the paper will be in the description also. You're going to have 2 pieces of that are 2 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches, and you're going to round just 2 corners on those. So if you've got a design that's somewhat continuous, this one isn't so much. I mean, you can see this is where I cut the piece of paper in half. If you really want it to, you know, match as it goes from one side to the other, then what you could do is put it together like this and punch it together. Then you know you've got the correct corners punched. So on this design, it doesn't make so much difference, but this is some retired designer series paper from last season. It's what or from the last catalog. It's what I was using to make my some of them with, because I just like it. I think they're catchy. So anyway, here's your one's going to be the front, one's going to be the back. Obviously, we're going to put that off to the side right now. Well, actually, we do need both of them. And what we're going to do is, because I'm doing a lot of these, I made myself a little template on where to put my magnet, because you want your magnet in the same place on both of them. And there's a couple different ways you could do. You could just have the magnets attached to each other and then glue them on. But then I had to sit there and I had to hold it while it dried, and I didn't want to have to do that. So I just made this little template, and I've made myself little circles. This is going to be on the inside. Nobody's going to see it anyway. Okay. Now the glue I'm using for this is a Gorilla Super Glue. And it's been holding just fine, but you do have to let it set and dry a little bit. I have to get this started. I've had this glue for a while, and I have to push kind of hard to get it out. It will come out, and I don't need a lot, and so that's okay, but I did have to work with this the other night when I was making these. Hang on here. There we go. It's almost a new bottle, so I don't want to get rid of it. So yeah, I just need a little dab, really. You can see you don't want too much, because then your magnet will slide right off, and that was part of the issue I was having too when I was doing them, you know, at first when I was trying to figure out how to do it best. So remember, you got to make sure your magnets are, you know, the right direction. So if they're attached here, then you're going to want to lay them down just like that. My man's sliding. Okay. And then what I would just do at this point is put them to the side and let them dry. And then once they were dry, on these I've used the tear tape. I love our tear tape. It's so easy to use. It's super, super sticky, and it's great. So when you're using three-dimensional products, you always want to use something that's a little more, you know, a little stronger. So I'm not going to do those right now because I've got one over here that I already started, but I'm going to set them aside to dry. And so here's the ones that I put the glue on already. This is, I didn't punch this though. That wasn't very smart. Okay, so I'm going to punch these corners. This particular DSP is from the same pack of paper, and again, it's Tranquil, I don't know, something. And this cardstock here is Mint Macaron. I'm going to tell you, I'm not a fan of this color, and I think I've said this before, but you know what? I sure seem to pull it out a lot. I'm going to cut that one again because I've got a little funky edge on it. There we go. That's better. That's better. Okay. So, you know, this is going to be the front side that shows, and I've already put the tear tape on this. Get this out of the way. Let me move this one out of the way. So, well, the hardest part of this sometimes is just pulling off the tape. Let's see here. There we go. Let me fold this in half. I'm going to use my bone folder, get a nice crease. Then I'm going to want to, you know, just kind of center this on this side. Okay, there you go. And you got a little bit of a bump, but it's not bad. It's not bad at all. Okay. So, and you're going to do the same with the second side. But what's really fun is because the magnets are going to attract themselves, it's going to place it right where it needs to go. You don't even need to, you know, do much to it. You just kind of put it down there, the magnet grabs it, puts it in place. It's kind of fun. So, see what I mean? Look at that. I couldn't have done that again if I tried. So now I like the placement, you know, because it could be a little bit crooked or something, but well, now that I've moved it, hold on. Let me straighten this out. There we go. I tore it just a little bit, but anyway, I thought these were cute little bookmarks for, you know, just little thank yous to people who had, you know, you come across during the holidays. Actually, you could make a bunch of them up, just have them in your bag, your purse, and if you run across somebody, hand one out. Okay, so there we go. Most of it's pretty much done. I mean, you could leave it just like that. But whatever you do use to embellish it with, it needs to be flat since it is going to be inside of a book. So I played with a lot of different things, and what I came up with was I ended up liking this, having this little piece of ribbon behind the little sentiment. So issues, I didn't have any ribbon particularly that matched this, so what I decided to do instead was to mimic the ribbon. I just cut a piece of Night of Navy, I wanted to call it Old Navy, and adhere it down there. Now if I was using ribbon, I would use glue dots. I'm going to cut that just a little bit shorter. Cut it just a skosh shorter. There we go. Yeah, I would adhere it on there. My magnet's right here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right up about here. Where's my adhesive? Don't forget, you know, to share my video, please, and to make sure you comment that you shared, because I can't always see everybody who shared, you know, especially like if we're not Facebook friends. So, and Sandra Miller, you're winning last week's card, so I'm going to send you a message, but I'm going to have you get me your address so I can send that card out to you. Okay, and so I'm going to stamp my sentiment. This is a great way. This is a strip of paper. Let's see. What is this? I'm on centimeters. It's how many? This is a 1/2 inch wide. This is probably one of those strips that's left from when I'm cutting for a card class or something. And you know, you think you're going to throw... Every once in a while they come in handy, and what's really nice... I got dog hair on my mat. So anyway, it's really nice because now I don't have to cut it. It's there. So I do save... I don't save all the strips, but I do save a fair amount. So I've got this, a piece of Whisper White cardstock. It's just scrap. The same with this Night of Navy strip. It's also was a scrap. The sentiment I'm going to put on here says many thanks. It's from the Itty Bitty Greeting stamp set. There's many thanks, but look at that. Look at all these sentiments, and something for just about any occasion. So I love that stamp set. It's very versatile. So if you don't have a demonstrator and you're in the US, I would love to be your demonstrator. Even if you're not local, you can still order from me. There's a way for you to order online. Okay, many thanks. And that's as simple as it is. Now I always cut these banners like these for the sentiments a little bit long. Excuse me, because that gives me a little bit of leeway, so I don't have to worry so much. But I'm going to use the banner triple punch. I could cut this by hand and do it myself, but I decided this gives me a much better, cleaner. Let's see where my many is. Okay, and I was kind of looking at the end to see where the end of my word was. Bingo. Whoops, that's a little short. Not super happy with that. I'm going to do that again. Do this again. Let me restamp. I probably could just turned it over, but go right about there. There we go. There we go. I like that. That's centered better. And then I'm going to trim this end off here. Let's see. That didn't want to go. Okay, let me see where I'm at lengthwise. It might be a little, yeah, it's a little bit long, so I'm going to take a little bit more off of each end, but that's okay. This punch actually has guidelines for different widths of paper, but this one's a narrower piece than it has allowed, so I have to make sure that I center it, otherwise it ends up a little bit off kilter like my first one did. So let's see if I don't want to cut too much off. Just a little bit more off of that end, and then I'll be ready. It doesn't usually take me this many tries. Bingo. Okay. You can see there's guides here on this punch. And let me see. I'm imagining this is probably, you have that, there's a 1 inch, a 1.5 inch, and a 2 inch guide. But because my piece of paper is, what did I say it was? 1/2 inch, it doesn't really fit into those guys. But if you've got a piece of paper that's that size, fits beautifully and takes all the guesswork out of it. So I'm going to adhere this. On here. Now my blue piece is a little short. Doggone it. Okay. So we're going to cut a little bit more off that one again. There we go. Okay. 3rd time's the charm. But you know, like they say, you can always take more off. You can't put it back on. So there you go. Many thanks. And since I didn't have any dark blue ribbon, I just used a strip of designer series paper. And like I said, you need to use caution, because those little magnets, if a little person swallowed them, could do a lot of damage. So I hope you liked my little project tonight, a little gift you could give to someone. And I will, remember, I won't be here next week. I'll be in Orlando with all the other Stampin' Up! Demonstrators celebrating Stampin' Up's 30th anniversary. Please share my video, comment that you shared, and hopefully you'll be chosen next time to win this project. Or if you'd prefer a card, I can find a card and send you a card instead. Okay, everyone, you take care and you have a great week. Bye now.